Baby.
Hey there.
Hi. Oh, the marvels of modern technology.
I am so sorry about that. I had no idea that someone already had to be watching to connect them.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
It's an honor, seriously. And I can't tell you how excited I am to see you, and so many people, on my social media, how thrilled they are to see you. So it's a real honor.
Well, thank you.
And how are you doing? How are you holding up?
Everyone is calling me and telling me I'm going viral, and I thought that's not a good thing. No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm fine. No, honey, you're going viral. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm with my mom in Tennessee. So that's not exactly the right best choice of words right now, but I capped something like 1.5 million followers. I have no idea.
It's beyond, and let me tell you, honestly, when I thought, because, I did the first episode of my show with my mom last week, and I didn't know when I thought of you that this had happened. I just thought, oh, he would be a great person to talk to. And then I saw that, oh my God, and within days you'd gone up 500,000 people or something, and now it's another 500,000 since Wednesday. So it's insane.
It's pretty amazing. Let's tell everybody how you and I met, which was such a story. I was on, let me get this right, American Horror Story. And we had an episode in which all the big stars from the 90s were being murdered. We were inviting them to a camp. And I'm terrible because I'm the funny guy that comes in with a zinger. So I don't always read scripts. American Horror Story, you have to read. On some of these sitcoms, it's like bullshit. Oh, my line. Bullshit, my line. But I try to read, but I can't always keep up with what's going on because American Horror Story has so many twists. But I remember that I had a line about your mom where I said, all the rock stars were showing up, and I just had to turn Belinda Carlisle around or something. And then you and I connected over that.
Yeah, well, it was
amazing.
I mean, I've been a fan of yours for so long. I mean, going back to when I, of course, like many, when I watched Will and Grace years ago. But then, to have you in particular be the one to say that line, I thought that was just hysterical. And so I found you on Instagram. I added you, and then you followed me back, which I was thrilled about. And then we had dinner, which was
right.
Awesome. And you were gracious enough to take us out, and it was a really wonderful evening.
That was fun. Connie and Ted's.
Connie and Ted's in West Hollywood, exactly.
It's my favorite seafood place.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love that place. But so now, even though you live full-time usually in LA, you're back home in Chattanooga at the moment.
I came home to see my family. My mother lives here, and then I have twin sisters. They're twins, 22 months younger than me.
Wow.
And so there's just the four of us. And the greatest thing I ever did as an adult was buy the cutest little place, little townhouse for all of them and all their cats. And so anyway, I was back visiting. And then I had to go back to LA for something. And it just hit me. I thought, you know what? This is going to get serious. This was weeks ago. And if I'm going to hunker down, I want to hunker down with my family. So I actually hopped a plane before it got like hunker down, let's all hunker down. But, we were still very careful. There were only 9 of us on the airplane. This is weeks ago. But anyway, so I'm here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, hunkered down with my family.
How much time? So, I mean, obviously, since your family has been there throughout this whole time, I'm assuming you've gone back to visit and all that. But does it still feel like home for you being there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was raised here. I went to high school here. I went off to go to University of Tennessee at Knoxville, but ended up back here. And that's where I got my degree from the drama department. They actually, I always jokingly say that I'll say I have a degree from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. It actually has a wonderful theater department. But when I got my degree years ago, they said, "Oh, Mr. Jordan, please, before you go to Hollywood, learn to pronounce," because I was saying still theater. I got a degree. Theater. They said, it's theater. I said, oh, that's what I said. And that's what I came to Hollywood with, my little degree in theater.
Wow. Well, so how old were you when you moved to LA then? Right after college?
No, I was no spring chicken. I had exercised racehorses. That's what I did. I've had such a wonderful, varied, crazy life. I grew up with horses, and I exercised racehorses for a really long time. From the time I was, oh my God, I was about 27 when I went back to school and got my degree. So I didn't really get to Hollywood till I was almost 30. Wow. So that's for you guys that say, oh my God, it's over and I'm 22. I'm thinking, no, you don't even know. I mean, you have no clue. Yeah. 27 is when I thought, you know, I'd always been funny, but that I kept the bullies at bay. That's how I kept, you know, growing up, not exactly the most masculine, you know, guy in school. I would make people laugh. And so, but I'd never thought about making a career of it. And I went back to school at 27 to study journalism. And everybody said, take that intro to theater. That'll get your arts elective out of the way. And it's an easy course. Mm-hmm. And the first day we did improvisations, people were laughing. And I went to the head of the department. I said, this is what I want to do. Tell me what I need to do. This is it right here.
Wow. Wow. But then between college, when you moved here, you didn't do any acting. And then you decided finally to come out and pursue your dreams.
My dreams. Wow. And I took a bus. Listen, talking about couldn't even afford an airplane ticket. I couldn't even afford Greyhound. I was on Trailways. And I took a bus all the way from Chattanooga, Tennessee. My mother helped me put a pin. I think I had $1,200 in my underpants. And I got on a bus with a suitcase and a dream. And I went to Hollywood.
Wow. And honestly, I mean, you've had the most unbelievable career. I mean, to think of that story, and then, you know, with the career you've had, and then to have this new chapter, which is so incredible. I mean, and this is, I mean, beyond.
And listen, my followers are young. Mm-hmm. And the reason I know how young they are, because I don't understand. It's one word. It'll go mood. King. Like, what are they talking about? They talk in all these cryptic, like it'll, and I think this is, and I finally asked a friend of mine, and he said, because they're Leslie, they're kids. And I said, but how would they know me? And we finally figured out a lot of them. I was with Zendaya. I did an episode a million years ago of not Casey Undercover, which was her. I mean, I'm talking all the way back to Shake It Up Chicago. And I invented the Pegasus, I was a choreographer. But I thought, my God, that's the only thing I can think of where these kids would even know me. Well, I mean, you know.
No, I mean, well, okay. I mean, I know you like maybe the younger kids, but of course, you know, people in their 20s, 30s, of course, we know you from Will and Grace and from American Horror Story, of course. I mean, you've done so many, but I know what you mean. I mean, it's people of all ages and it's kids. You're right.
But do you know that Thursday night is my very last episode of Will and Grace ever? I was thinking, because I got a notice, and I'm not sure when their actual finale is, but we did a tribute to I Love Lucy, where I'm in the grapes stomping around with Megan Mullally as the old lady, and she's dressed up like Lucy. And I'm not giving away anything because they've released I'm always getting in trouble for telling things. Like one time I was in Boston Pride, and they said, what's next, Mr. Jordan? I said, I'm on American Horror Story, Lady Gaga. They hadn't announced it. This is years ago. Oh, boy, I got it. I mean, I got it.
Oh, like, my God.
My agent called saying, you're in trouble. I said, what are you, my mother? What do you mean in trouble? They said, no, you're in trouble.
Well... But I'm still like trying to mentally grapple, like you in the scene with Megan and I Love Lucy, the grape stomping scene. That's going to be genius beyond.
It was really a lot of fun. So I love her so much too. To have worked with, she's just, you know, her, Deborah Messing, Sean Hayes, Eric McCormick. I'm honored. I think that when it's all said and done, like when it's all over or down the road and people look back, that's when the tide turned, I think, for gay people, is because of Will and Grace. You know, I started on that show, and these big straight guys would come up and go, "Hey, aren't you on TV?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm on Will and Grace." They'd go, "Oh, yeah, my wife watches." They wouldn't. And then almost like 5 years later, people are, you know, construction workers in the street are saying, "Hey, love you on Will and Grace." And I thought, you know what? That's progress somehow.
Unbelievable. And was that character written for you, or what? Because I mean, you were so perfect for it.
Oh, it's such a long story. We can't get into that.
No, I know.
It was actually originally written for Joan Collins. They wanted a dynasty sort of cat fight. Beverly Leslie was gonna they were gonna get on a pool table, and I was gonna steal Rosario away from Megan. She was gonna accuse me, and that's what ended up happening. Was we attacked each other on a pool table. And but it was originally supposed to be I think a dynasty cat fight. Like she was going to steal. Now I may be wrong, but who knows? But that's the rumor I heard. But
wow. Well, I mean, that must have been a really emotional experience for you. I mean, the fact that this journey is now coming to an end. You know, and I mean, we're all so sad about it. But someone did ask me. Some of my Facebook said you should tell Leslie that he and Karen should have a spinoff. Their own show.
Well, we've thought about that, but I'm already taken. I'm sure she's off to something else too. But I've got this program.
Congratulations.
On Fox. It's a big new project, and it's Mayim Bialik, and Jim Parsons is producing it, and Darlene Hunt wrote it, who is very well known around the writer world and everything. And it's got a pedigree like you wouldn't believe. Kyla Pratt from Swoosie Kurtz, Cheyenne Jackson. I
mean, that's an unbelievable cast of people. I mean, wow. I mean,
we've already bonded. It's so weird. We've never met each other, but because we've had to cancel, we were supposed to be shooting the pilot right now, like this week. And because they canceled, we kind of got in touch with each other, and we just started this sort of online love fest with, you know, "Oh, I love your work. I can't wait to meet you." And, "Oh, I love you." And Lala, and we've never even laid eyes on each other.
Unbelievable.
But we're so ready.
But I mean, you know, it's like, that's one of those things that, of course, as sad as it is that the filming got postponed and all the fact that all this is happening, had this not happened, I mean, you are the perfect person to help people get through this moment, you know, that we're going through. And had this not happened, I mean, of course, again, you're incredibly famous and successful, and so many of us knew who you were, but you've now been introduced to a whole new audience, you know? And as they say, humor really is like the best medicine, I think, you know? What you're doing is really important right now.
Well, thank you.
But so in addition to I asked about how you got into Will and Grace, how did, just out of curiosity, because I'm a huge fan of the show and the work you've done on it, how did the Ryan Murphy American Horror Story thing come to be?
He wrote, the first one I did was called Coven. And the part was written, I mean, for me, I didn't audition. I didn't know. I live in such a little world of my own. Of course, I knew the show. I wasn't paying attention. But I went to New Orleans, and I was on tour doing my one-man show. And all of a sudden, they said, "Leslie, have you met Jessica?" I said, "There's Jessica Lange." What are you doing? It was Jessica Lange. My gosh, and Kathy Bates. And then, you know, later on, I remember standing years later on another season. And I thought, here is Kathy Bates, Academy Award winner. Cuba Gooding Jr., Academy Award winner. Angela Bassett, Academy Award winner. Sarah Paulson won every award known to man and will win Academy Award. And I remember thinking, I got to pull this out of my ass. Because, see, I'm just the funny guy that comes in with the zingers. And all of a sudden, Ryan Murphy is writing for me, like acting parts, like character parts, like, I got to go to work here. But it's been, and you know, he's used me over and over. So, you know, when people like that are writing for you, you're like, wow, okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean it's absolutely. I mean it was an amazing show. Do you think you might be on the next one, on the next season? Do you know
I
yet?
don't know. I don't think I'll be available.
Well, right.
See,
You're gonna have.
once you do these network, sort of deals, it takes you off the table.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
so the new show's on Fox. And,
it's on Fox.
And can you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Well, I think with what they've released, it's adorable. Mayim is a 39-year-old woman who is not married, and her mother's fancy. It takes place in Louisville, Kentucky. Her mother goes to the races, and that's Swoosie Kurtz, and is telling her daughter, you need to get married. She don't want to get married. She says, I'm happy. I'm fine, and that's where Call Me Kat comes from, because her name is Catherine. She says, Mom, just call me Kat. I don't know who that is, Catherine. I don't know who Kat is. So it's cute. And then what she does is she buys a cat cafe. I think a little bit to spite her mother, who is allergic to cats. But thus, Cheyenne Jackson shows up. He's the bartender across the street.
Oh.
Kyla Pratt is a barista of the year who works there. Oh, me too. I've got my sweet tea too. But
I've
Shenanigans.
tea. I love sweet tea. I'm drinking water, but sweet tea sounds really good, I have to say.
Okay.
But no, see what you were saying, yeah.
So it's anyway, that's just Shenanigans, and it's but it's that script. Why Fox said, "Oh yes," not a pilot. No, we'll do an order. Come on, let's do it, because it's beautifully written, and I can't wait. With those caliber of actors, we're gonna have, and it's gonna shoot like they were saying at Warner Brothers in front of a live audience. I mean, it's just gonna be a blast. You cannot beat, as an actor, that schedule. That you rehearse just like a play, 2 or 3 days. You put it in front of an audience. So
no, it's absolutely. And so obviously we don't know how long it's going to be until you guys are able to start on that. Right?
No, it's going to run 8 years. We've already known. No, I don't know that. I don't know that.
I mean, how long till you can start shooting?
We have no idea. They said they were saying the end of June. So let's just hope and pray. They said, we've got, because we were going to shoot a pilot, then take a break, and then we're going to come in June and start shooting into the fall. And so now they said, let's just start in June and do it. So.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, so with this, with all the videos you've been doing on Instagram, was that a conscious decision to do that because of what's going on? Like, did you say, okay, like I need to, now that this is an opportunity to like do more content and all that?
No, I was so naive about it all. I didn't even get on Instagram. I was on The Cool Kids, another series for Fox. And we were at a big event to push the show. I think it was like lawn bowling in Beverly Hills. It was crazy. And Tess Sanchez Greenfield, who is head of she's the big cheese, the network casting. She was standing there, and Max Greenfield's her husband, that's on The Neighbors. That's why she got that long name, goes on and on and on. But anyway, we were at this event, and I said something funny, and she said, "Post that. That's funny. Post it." And I go, "I beg your pardon." I thought of a post-it, like post it. She said, "No, you need." And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." She said, "Honey, are you not on Instagram?" I said, Well, she called her girls over and said, "Go to work." So they signed me up. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think this was more than a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And so I just started. I'd tell everybody, "Oh, I got 20,000 followers." They go, "Well, that's nothing." I go, "What are you talking about? 20,000 followers." And then they'd say, and then Megan Mullally from Will and Grace reposted, and bam, I woke up. I said, "I got 80,000 followers." And they go, "Oh, that's nothing." I said, "No, you don't understand. Why would 80,000 people care?" And then I'm telling you, it was about 80 less than a week ago. And all of a sudden, you don't know.
1.5 million. Yeah, it's just incredible.
I have no idea. I really don't. People say, "Oh, well, I had a friend that started calling me and saying, "You know what? You got something going here. Now, let me tell you, I know about the internet, and do this." And I said, "Oh, that's not fun." He'd go, "No, do this. I'm telling you." and would kind of guide me. So I have had guidance.
Absolutely. No, I mean, well, I think, sometimes it's very, it can be very contrived, but honestly, I think what you've done is so organic. And so like, I think, ultimately if you have talent and you have like, and you're, I don't think you need social media, honchos or all that kind of thing. I mean, you've done such an incredible, you just put great material and stuff out there and people will, find it, Yeah.
It amazes me. They'll say, oh, well, People Magazine wants you to talk about your cat. I said, I don't have a cat. And they said, you posted something about a cat. I said, that's my mama's cat. But I did a whole live thing from People Magazine with my cat. I don't even have a cat.
But so speaking of your mother, so you're staying with her. She's 84, and she said she's been cooking a lot for you, which is fantastic.
Good and bad. I mean, it's oh gosh,
traditional Southern
and cornbread. And in fact, today it was so funny. We looked at each other and we thought, let's just have something like simple, like simple, because she loves cooking for me. She's going to make me Swiss steak next week. I said, let's wait about a week. I'm about to explode.
Yeah. I mean, the Southern food is incredible, but on the other hand, you'll gain 500 pounds,
And you bloat. I guess it's salty. I don't eat like that, but
yeah,
I'm like a beach ball with arms. I'm just lying here. Right up. My water's going to break.
But so like, obviously, you've been eating well. Have you been watching and listening to a lot of stuff? Like what books have you been reading or movies have you been watching during this?
Nothing. I have this, I think it's because I am in the business. I am ashamed to say the last movie I saw, you're not going to believe this, Brokeback Mountain.
You saw it back, you saw it back when it came out?
Oh, it's a good movie.
And that's the last time you saw it?
That is the last. People go, what do you mean? I said, I don't go to movies. I don't like scripted stuff because I sit there and I analyze it. Or even worse, I get jealous. I'm like, oh, I could have played that part. I really don't. I read a lot. I don't know what I do. I'm very private, though. I read. I do this. I don't go out. I made a decision years ago that 6 o'clock the curtain goes down. And my friends will go, but you can go to dinner. I go, rarely.
Well, then I'm truly honored that you...
Well, you should be. I think that's the last time.
It might be the last time. When it's like, this may be it from now on, But how about reading? Any books in particular, or do you just read, like, are you a news junkie? What do you...
I read 4 or 5 newspapers a day.
Wow.
And I also, my library at home, it's mainly Southern, anything. I've read everything from Eudora Welty to Truman Capote. I read Southern stuff. I read a lot, but it's got to be, I have these rules and stuff. Southern, it's got to be Southern. But
yeah, absolutely. So mostly fictional stuff versus non-fiction when you read books.
Right.
And so other than the show, do you have other plans yet for potential like live shows or anything? I know obviously for now that's off the... Well,
I have, I have a collection of my of my stories, and I call it Leslie Jordan Exposed. And I was booked solid. And so I was supposed to leave last week. I had Rochester, New York, and then I had Louisville, Kentucky. I had Nashville. Then this week, and see, they're all canceled. I had Savannah, Georgia, and then I had, I can't remember this week where I was supposed to be, but it's all on hold.
Well,
so
that's such a shame.
Yeah.
But it will be. Hopefully, it'll be rescheduled. I'll be there at the next show. I wanted to come to the one. Is that the show that you had in LA in December?
Yes, and you stood me up. You stood me up.
I think I had to go visit my grandparents that night. But believe me, No,
it was at the Catalina Jazz Club. It was at the Catalina Jazz Club. Is the venue I do in the LA area, which is a wonderful, wonderful. It's right there. In fact, if I ever shoot it for like Netflix or anything, that's where I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
For live in Hollywood, the Catalina Jazz Club.
It's very, very grand.
Yeah.
Very grand. No, well, honestly, it is a true honor to talk to you, and
Well, thank you.
So grateful, and stay safe there, and thank you.
I'll
so
talk
much.
to you very soon if I ever make it back.
Well, I mean, it's like true. So you've another 2 months maybe of this, just doing. But honestly, you are doing such a service to the world.
Well, thank you.
And
thank you. At the Leslie Jordan, 1.5 million of you. Bye, honey.
I love you. Thank you.
Love you too.
Bye. Bye.